Hello, my name is Michael. I am a certified resume writer, and I have over 4 years of experience writing and revising professional resumes for a variety of roles, anywhere from entry level, you're still in college, to director and CEO level, CTO, CIO, you name it. All right, so today we're going to go over this resume, give some tips and tricks. Hopefully y'all can learn something about how to write your resume or have some improvements. Let's get started. So first things first, the professional experience here is a bit weird how it's formatted. I wouldn't suggest having professional experience without having like bullet points. So I took out some of the identifying information, but we want to have professional experience be the main reason why someone is reading your resume. And then there should be responsibilities that's based under that. It looks like how this resume is formatted is like there's that professional experience, and then like the skills are listed like here. And these are all skills that they used in that professional experience, but I would not suggest doing that for most people. Anyways, moving on. Couple of things to talk about here. So number one, the summary. I kind of make fun of things like this, but like action driven, you don't necessarily need these kind of useless sentences. Like action driven, results oriented, those sorts of things aren't detail oriented here too. We had two of these, action driven and detail oriented. These aren't necessary, and these are sort of like resume faux pas. Like you sort of always expect these to happen in resumes, and they don't really mean anything, right? I always, and this goes for any kind of writing assignment, it's always about showing, not telling, right? I don't want to just say that I'm action driven or detail oriented. I want that to be evidence in my experience and how I explain my experience. So, for example, instead of just saying detail oriented, I could say something like in an experience section, maybe like down here somewhere, I could say like, hey, I found a bug in our CRM platform that was, very small. There was a typo in our CRM platform that after being fixed, saved our company, I don't know, $10,000 or saved us from losing a large client, right? So it's about showing and not just telling. And after they read kind of what you're about, then they can be like, oh yeah, this is a detail-oriented person. They don't have to tell you that because it's self-evident, right? Ideally. I know there's like an idea of like stuffing keywords in. That makes sense. I get that. I understand that, but that's the ideal. So some kind of like eCommerce data manager, blah, 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 15 years. This is good to have years of experience included. I like that a lot. Optimizing thousands of products for online sales channels, skilled in digital, blah, 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 organization. Okay. This is okay. This is not terrible. I like how it's short. I would suggest probably maybe 3 to 4 sentences on your summary section. I'll have some clients who have like really, really, really long summary sections. It's just not necessary, right? Another thing I always say about resumes in general are your highlight reel or like your movie trailer, and your summary is part of that, right? That's like even more trimmed down version of who you are and what you can bring to an organization. There's also another kind of faux pas here. There's like skill dumps. This, and there's also programs. This is like another skill dump here. And by skill dumps, I mean like just talking about a lot of skills without having any context. So ideally, these skills would be in your experience. Like, so if we pretended this is like your professional experience section, and this is like a job, and then maybe there's like a title here, this experience with Shopify Target Plus, AWS S3 Buckets, just the buckets, huh? Anyways, so like these skills would ideally be included into the professional experience, like your bullet points, right? So instead of just like throwing up AWS S3 Buckets, pivot tables, if statement, instead of just talking about like the skills here, without context, you'd bring them into this whole section and talk about things like, hey, how did I use VLOOKUPs or if statements? It's so funny. Or how did I use Amazon S3 Buckets, right? Like I created a backup plan for my small IT business using Amazon S3 Buckets or something like that, right? Like, and I store data in the cloud. because we didn't have enough capacity on-prem, right? Something along those lines. So again, always try to have your skills contextualized within your professional experience as much as possible. A few other things here, not going to spend a whole lot of time, but education year, I always just say remove these. You don't need them, especially if you're on the older side like me. I'm 32. I guess I'm not going to be age discriminated against, but just in case, like there doesn't have to be a graduation year, and who really cares about that? But they see that you graduated like, and I don't know, like, oh, he graduated in like 1952. You know, it's not a good look for you. They can see and guess how old you are. It's like, okay, if he was 20 in 1952, this guy's, you know, like in his 70s. So just be aware of that. Cut down on their ability to discriminate against you by removing that data. It's not required, right? A few other pieces here, like how you format certifications. So like I would not put this stuff under the education section. This should be a whole part of like certification section where you talk about these things. And in here, I would actually include the year of when you got these. Like if this was like 2023, when you did prompt engineering for ChatGPT, you could include that just so the recruiter would know how recent that certification is. And it would also give you an idea and the recruiter idea of how you learn, right? You're always constantly learning. You're trying new technologies, and that's a good sort of face to put up to the recruiter. So hope this helps. Give y'all some tips. I'll be making a few more of these. Let me know what you think. If you have any questions in the comments, let me know. Thanks.